Hello there, you're watching Nightline. I'm Anita Wu. News making the headlines. Tun Dr. Mahathir demands proof that Russia was behind the downing of MH17. And Boris Johnson looks set to become UK's next Prime Minister. We begin with our headlining story. Malaysia demanded proof that it was indeed Russia which was behind the shooting down of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 5 years ago. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad claimed that the recent findings on the culprit behind the incident was a politically motivated conclusion to solely blame Russia. Tun Dr. Mahathir was speaking to the media at the Prime Minister's Department Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration event in Putrajaya on Thursday.
We are very unhappy because from the very beginning it became a political issue on how to accuse Russia of the wrongdoing. Even before they examined, they already said Russia. Now they say they have to. So it's very difficult for us to accept that.
He described the decision to charge 3 Russians and 1 Ukrainian with murder over flight MH17 as a political plot against Russia. He was asked if Malaysia's stance was because it had a stake with Russia, who are the buyers of its palm oil.
That is totally different. That is, but as far as we are concerned, we want proof of guilt.
That Russia did it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but so far there is no proof.
So you
only hearsay.
International investigators on Wednesday charged 4 people with murder over the 2014 shooting down of the aircraft above rebel-held eastern Ukraine, in which 298 people were killed. The 4 were Russian nationals Igor Girkin, Sergei Dubinsky and Oleg Pulatov, and Ukrainian Leonid Karchenko. Regarding a sex video which allegedly implicated Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, Tun Dr. Mahathir stressed that there is no need for the Economic Affairs Minister to take leave while police are conducting probe over the case. The Prime Minister, who had earlier dismissed the video, said the person should only take leave if the probe was over some wrongdoing or crime.
There are calls for Azmin to take leave. How? Take leave. There are calls for Azmin to take leave during the investigation. For the investigation to continue.
They can continue. He is not going to be any obstruction to investigation.
So there is no need.
Pakatan selalu minta ahli BN untuk take leave of absence bila ada investigation. So sekarang ni bila somebody in the government is now terpalit dengan skandal macam ni.
Investigation on wrongdoings or crime, they can take leave. But this is a political thing. In fact, it is intended to embarrass him and to ask him to take leave. I don't like his political.
Datuk Sri Azmin, in giving his statement to the police on Monday, has denied the video's authenticity. He said that he believed that there was a plot against him and that it was an inside job. On another note, Tun Dr. Mahathir has slammed a Turkish author, saying that the latter is practicing double standards when it comes to free speech. He also dismissed Mustafa Akyol's remarks that he was disrespectful towards the Jews, stressing that he has every right to express his opinion.
But that is my opinion. They talk about free speech. I can't say that there's no free speech. That's why I say the Europeans, they have double standard. When they like, free speech. When they don't like, I don't say.
Akyol had criticised Tun Dr. Mahathir over his remarks against the Jews during a recent talk in the United Kingdom. The Prime Minister had made the comment in response to a question by the session moderator Adam Davis, who asked him to justify saying that Jews were inclined towards money. Later in the evening, Tun Dr. Mahathir departed for Bangkok, Thailand for a 4-day working visit, during which he will join 9 other heads of government for the 34th ASEAN Summit. The special aircraft carrying Tun Dr. Mahathir and his wife, Tun Dr. Siti Asmah Muhammad Ali, landed at the Military Air Terminal 2 of the Royal Thai Air Force Base at 7:30 p.m. local time. On hand to welcome Tun Dr. Mahathir and Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah were Thai Interior Minister General Anupong Paujinda, as well as Malaysian Ambassador to Thailand, Datuk Joji Samuel. Tun Dr. Mahathir is leading the Malaysian delegation to the 34th ASEAN Summit and related summits. The Prime Minister is accompanied by Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah, International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Darrell Liking, and Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali, as well as senior government officials. He's expected to officiate the inaugural Malaysia Fest 2019 at the Central World Shopping Mall on Friday, and later in the afternoon he will hold the Malaysia-Thailand Business Dialogue, a roundtable business meeting with Thailand's captains of industry. 13 students and 2 school staff fell ill after showing symptoms of vomiting and breathing difficulties. 5 of those students from Sekolah Agama Taman Mawar in Pasir Gudang, Johor, were rushed to the Sultan Ismail Hospital for further treatment. The cause of the incident was believed to be air pollution. Pasir Gudang Fire and Rescue Station Chief Ibrahim Omar said they received a distress call at 3:39 p.m. and 2 units of emergency medical rescue services and a hazardous material team were rushed to the school. 12 students from the nearby Sekolah Kebangsaan Pasir Gudang 4 have also been quarantined, while Standard 1 to 3 students have been instructed to go home early. The situation is reported to be under control and the Health Department is investigating the matter. Meanwhile, according to the Health Minister, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, the 15 people from Sekolah Agama Taman Mawar in Pasir Gudang who were taken ill on Thursday could have been exposed to poisonous gas. Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said his ministry was aware of the incident and would closely monitor the situation, adding that so far everything is under control.
The symptoms and, look like there's a kind of
possibility of gas.
Most likely a possibility of a poisonous gas, or those things that the VCOs yang volatile organic gas, volatile compound. I mean, those are the most likely.
He added that the ministry had been in touch with Johor Health Department Director Dr. Salihuddin Abdul Aziz on the matter. When asked if there would be any announcement on school closures, Dr. Zulkifli said it was a bit too early to decide or say anything. In March, the toxic pollution of Sungai Kim Kim resulted in over 4,000 people falling ill and led to the closure of 111 schools in the Pasir Gudang district. A Finance Ministry staff on Thursday revealed how SRC International Sendirian Berhad's top management brushed off her inquiries about the company by saying they only answered to the Prime Minister. Afida Aswa Abdul Aziz said she worked under duress when she was asked to handle the SRC International case. Afida, in testifying at the High Court in the corruption trial of Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak, said she had complained about it to her immediate superior, Maliami Hamad, but it all fell on deaf ears. Instead, she said Maliami told her that there was nothing anyone could do as it was a directive from higher up. The 44-year-old Deputy Secretary of the Strategic Investment Division in the Finance Ministry said Maliami also told her that the SRC International was the Prime Minister's company. Afida's answer, however, drew protests from Datuk Sri Najib's lawyer, Datuk Muhammad Yusof Zainal Abidin. He protested that Afida's remark was mere hearsay and should not be accepted. However, Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk VZ Tambaram shot down the argument by saying that the witness was just revealing what her superior had told her. Judge Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali said he would accept the answer given by Afida. Earlier, during cross-examination by Datuk Sri Najib's lead counsel, Tan Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdullah, Afida stood her ground and said the manner that SRC International managed to get 2 government guarantees for its R4 billion loan from the Retirement Fund Incorporated, or KWAP, was highly irregular. She said SRC International representatives, namely its Chief Executive Officer, Nik Faisal Arif Kamil, and another individual by the name of Zahid Taib, along with 2 others, had turned up at the MOF office on August 15, 2011, before she was immediately ordered to prepare a memorandum on their loan intentions and the guarantee letter. Asked by Tan Sri Shafi if she had escalated her concerns to Maliami when she was rushed to prepare the memorandum and had to work under duress, Afida replied that she had done so. Later, during re-examination by Datuk Sitambaram, Afida confirmed that the Cabinet did not know about the 250 million ringgit and 300 million ringgit, which had been given to SRC International to settle its outstanding payments to KWAP. She said it was all approved by Datuk Sri Najib. Meanwhile, another witness, Datuk Subuh Mat Yassin, told the High Court that he had fled to Bangkok in year 2015 in fear. The former director of SRC said he had contacted the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, to explain the situation in SRC. However, before he could do so, he received an anonymous call from a person who introduced himself as an MACC representative and asked him not to go to the MACC office and to leave Malaysia instead. Datuk Subuh told the court he was fearful of what was happening as Datuk Sri Najib was still the Prime Minister then, so he ran away to Bangkok with his wife for a month. There he was met by a Thai man who handed him flight tickets for him and his wife to Abu Dhabi. After a week there, he flew back to Bangkok and made his way back to Malaysia. He also testified that he was contacted by former SRC CEO Nik Faisal Arif Kamil after the last general election. And again, he was told to run away from Malaysia to avoid investigation by the authorities. However, Datuk Subuh said he decided to stay and to assist in the investigation. Haziq Abdullah Abdul Aziz has been sacked as the Principal Private Secretary to the Deputy Primary Industries Minister. The ministry said it viewed the sordid admission by Haziq over viral sex videos implicating a minister seriously. The ministry said that it will never tolerate any scandalous behaviour amongst any of its staff members. In a statement on Thursday, the ministry said it proceeded to terminate his contract of service effective June 18, 2019. It said it viewed the matter as a very serious violation of its values, ethics and the Code of Conduct Public Officers regulations. The ministry had previously issued Haziq a show cause letter, which the latter responded to. Haziq was the private secretary to Datuk Sri Shamsul Iskandar Mat Akin. On June 13th, Shamsul Iskandar said Haziq had been suspended from his duties with immediate effect and had been issued with a show cause letter. A day before that, Haziq admitted that he was one of the two men seen in a sex video that had been making its rounds on social media and via WhatsApp. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, has handed over to the police a list of phone numbers used to spread the sex videos allegedly involving a minister. Its chairman, Al-Ishal Ishak, said that it was part of the joint investigation with the police now conducted by the Cybercrime Committee.
Investigation is ongoing. Jadi kita tahu SKMM adalah satu badan yang regulator serta juga technical. Jadi tentunya kita ada kebolehan yang maju. We are good in what we do with PDRM dan we will continue to support PDRM in this endeavour.
He said MCMC was ready to cooperate with relevant agencies to give technical assistance in the investigation based on requests from the police. The assistance covers various aspects, including telecommunication, as the video was spread through the telecommunication network. In Kelantan, the remains of 15 Orang Asli residents that previously died in a measles outbreak will be buried together in one grave at the Kuala Koh Gua Musang Cemetery. Kelantan Religious and Malay Customs Council, MAIC, confirmed they were all Muslims and is making preparations for their burial after the final stages of autopsies are done. According to MAIC Chief Murtada Abdullah, the families of the victims have agreed that they be buried together. The burial process of the victims, including the body of a 1-year-old baby, would be handled by an imam and several staff members of the Gua Musang Mosque. Murtada also said the council would bear the cost of the burial. MAIC will also organise a Hari Raya open house for the Batik tribe in Aring Lima, Gua Musang on June 26 and hand over donation to the family of the victims. The East Coast Economic Region ECER Master Plan 2.0, EMP 2.0, unveiled today, aims to draw 70 billion ringgit in new private investment and create 120,000 new jobs. The master plan has also mapped out 60,000 entrepreneurial opportunities for the people as among its key goals. The EMP 2.0 was launched by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who is also the chairman of ECER-DC at the Prime Minister's office today. According to a statement from the ECER Development Council, ECER-DC, emphasis would be given on 6 strategic initiatives, namely increasing labour productivity, diversifying economic bases, facilitating economies of scale, mobilising the labour force, leveraging connectivity and enhancing enabling infrastructure such as information and communications technology broadband connectivity. ECERDC Chief Executive Officer Baidzawi Chetmat said the EMP 2.0 aims to accelerate the next leap of ECER socio-economic transformation, ultimately narrowing the regional imbalance and enhancing the well-being of the people. Under the EMP 2.0, greater emphasis will be given to accelerate the region's readiness for Industry 4.0, given the importance of the digital platform in shaping economies and driving innovation worldwide. Meanwhile, two high-impact game changers, the East Coast Rail Link, ECRL, and the expansion of Kuantan Port in Pahang are expected to facilitate further investments and improve mobility of goods and people. The ECRL will unlock new tourism hubs and transit-oriented developments along its alignment, while the expansion of Kuantan Port can cater to larger vessels, thus reinforcing the ECER as the gateway to the Asia-Pacific region. Welcome back. Still on Nightline. In Negeri Sembilan, a 26-year-old woman who was diagnosed with methanol poisoning after consuming alcohol died on Thursday, bringing the total of death to 2. Police said the woman, identified as K. Ratika from Bandar Baru Serting, was pronounced dead at the Port Dickson Hospital this morning. According to Port Dickson District Police Chief Superintendent Aidi Shah Mohammed, the victim was confirmed dead at 8:36 a.m. after receiving treatment at the hospital a day earlier. Post-mortem confirmed that she had been suffering from methanol poisoning after consuming alcohol. Aidi also said he was also informed of another new victim, bringing the total to 5 people affected by methanol poisoning. Following this, police have arrested a 50-year-old woman and her 19-year-old son, believed to have sold the liquor to the victim in Lukut. Initial investigations have revealed that the suspects had bought 24 cans of liquor from a 40-year-old man for 140 ringgit. The duo will be remanded on Friday to facilitate the probe under the Penal Code. In Pahang, police have detained 6 teenagers over a gang fight which took place on Wednesday at the parking lot of a fast food restaurant in Sungai Isap, Kuantan. District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Nur Yusuf Ali said the 6, aged between 19 and 20, were detained at the compound of Kuantan District Police Headquarters after being called to testify. The incident that took place at 1 a.m. was believed to involve 12 teenagers from Pekan and Kanga Perlis. The incident unfolded when a 20-year-old student claimed that he was contacted by an unknown man at 8 p.m. the day before, who introduced himself as his former fiancé's uncle and wanted to meet him. He claimed that he and 2 friends were at the parking area when they were approached by a group of men in 3 cars, while one of the suspects had asked for him. The man then allegedly punched the student's face and kicked him, while the other teens joined in to attack the victim before the fight was stopped by the members of the public. The victim then lodged a police report about an hour after the incident. The probe is being conducted under the Penal Code for rioting, which provides for a maximum jail sentence of 2 years or a fine or both upon conviction. In Pulau Pinang, a farm worker on Thursday pleaded not guilty at the Butterworth Magistrates Court on a charge of driving under the influence of drugs, resulting in the death of a female nasi lemak seller last Sunday. 30-year-old G. Ravi made the plea after the charge was read out to him before Magistrate M. Kalayarasi. The court then set bail for the accused at 8,000 ringgit with 1 shorty and ordered the accused to report to the nearest police station on the 20th of each month. The magistrate set July 22nd for mention of the case. In Selangor, a 13-year-old boy was rescued by the National Anti-Drug Agency, AADK, after his drug addict father escaped during an anti-drug operation code named Ops Jaga at a residential area in Banting. The teenager was found in the house, which was used as a drug den. The 7-hour operation, which started at 11 p.m. on Wednesday, also saw the arrest of 5 suspected drug dependents. They will be charged under the Drug Dependents Treatment and Rehabilitation Act 1983. Also in Selangor, police on Thursday detained a 61-year-old labourer over the murder of another labourer from Indonesia. The suspect, a close friend of the victim, was picked up at about 11:55 a.m. at a restaurant in Rawang. Petaling Jaya Police Chief ACP Muhammad Zani Cik Din said the man from Sabah fled after the incident, which occurred in Petaling Jaya a day earlier. The case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. When we return, Erdogan accuses Egyptian government of killing ex-President Morsi. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Onto the foreign front. Home Secretary Sajid Javid has been eliminated from the race to become Britain's next Prime Minister, as Boris Johnson again topped the ballot of the Conservative Party leadership ahead of Michael Gove and Jeremy Hunt. With all 313 MPs again casting votes, Johnson was once more the clear winner on 157 votes, with Gove overtaking Hunt into second place with 61 votes to 59, while Javid was fourth on 34 votes. The focus now shifts to a fifth and final round of votes, in which the final two will be selected, who will be put to a vote of Conservative Party members. In effect, this will be a runoff between Gove and Hunt for the right to face Johnson. The final two will then undertake a long series of hustings events with party members around the country before the winner takes over from Theresa May as Tory leader and Prime Minister on 22nd July.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan vowed on Wednesday to do whatever it takes to prosecute Egyptian government in international courts for the death of former President Mohamed Morsi. Speaking at an election rally in Istanbul, Erdogan claimed that the ousted Egyptian leader did not die, but instead was murdered. The Turkish president alleged that the Egyptian authorities did not intervene to save the ousted president when he flailed for 20 minutes on the ground after collapsing in the courtroom in Cairo on Monday. Erdogan, however, did not offer any evidence for his claim. Morsi, who had been held in prison since his 2013 overthrow, collapsed and died this week while testifying in court. Rights groups have suggested that Egypt's first democratically elected civilian president did not receive adequate medical care while in prison. Item wraps up Nightline this time around. However, before we leave, we bring you visuals of the Red Bull X Alps 2019 race, which covers over 1,138 kilometers of alpine terrain, which drew in 32 world-class athletes from 20 nations to take part in the journey from Salzburg to Monaco only by foot and paraglider. With that, I'm Nita Wu. Thank you for tuning in.